And the Lakers don't need LeBron to sell tickets, just like they didn't need Kareem to sell tickets, just like eventually they found out they didn't need Shaq to sell tickets. There's always somebody in L.A. making a debut. I think LeBron's smart enough to know the torch has been passed in L.A. And this has always been, the Lakers have always been a pass-the-torch organization.
Los Angeles Lakers are caught in an awkward position. They're not bad enough to start over, but they're not good enough to be real championship contenders either. Right in the middle of it all is LeBron James. The same LeBron who's expected to bring relevance, titles, and dominance. But right now, it feels like the franchise is stuck in a cycle it can't break free from. And when Colin Cowherd starts openly asking if it's finally time to move on, the discussion no longer sounds outrageous. It feels real uncomfortable and maybe even long overdue.
LeBron James has not played this year. He will not reportedly go on the Lakers' 5-game road trip. He's got a sciatica issue. That's a nerve in the lower back, and also where Napoleon was exiled to, sciatica.
Here's what almost nobody is talking about. The Lakers' problems go beyond injuries, roster moves, or bad luck. This is a structural issue. It's about the way the franchise has been built. When everything revolves around an aging superstar, every decision becomes focused on the present. Every trade feels like a win-now gamble. Every young player becomes easier to move. That's been the pattern throughout the LeBron era. Draft picks have disappeared, role players keep changing, and the team has struggled to establish a clear identity. Instead of building for the future, the Lakers have been trying to extend a shrinking window, and that window is closing faster than the organization may want to admit.
LeBron James has no influence on free agency moves, says an NBA front office insider. The Lakers are excluding him. They should. He's 41.
Now enter J.J. Redick, and this is where the conversation gets interesting. While everyone is focused on LeBron's legacy, Redick is quietly bringing a modern approach to basketball. Spacing, accountability, ball movement, player development. These are the principles that drive success in today's NBA. That's exactly what Colin Cowherd highlighted, and it's something more people should be discussing. Redick represents where the game is headed, while LeBron represents an earlier era. That's not meant as disrespect. It's simply the reality of where both are in their careers. One is focused on building a system, while the other has spent years being the system itself.
The Lakers ruled LeBron out for the game that's going to be tonight against the Thunder. It doesn't seem like they're really thinking that they're going to have a great chance to win that one.
This is where things become risky. When your best player needs the entire team built around him, everyone else has to adjust. Just look at the Lakers' offense. Too often it becomes stagnant, predictable, and heavily dependent on LeBron making the right decision every possession. That approach worked when he was 28. It's much harder to rely on when he's nearing 40. The margin for error gets smaller, the defensive intensity naturally declines, and instead of evolving, the team ends up trying to survive. In today's Western Conference, simply surviving is enough. Now let's look at the numbers, because this goes beyond opinions. LeBron is still producing outstanding stats for his age, but the overall impact is more complicated. The Lakers' net rating changes dramatically depending on the lineup, and defensive consistency has remained one of their biggest weaknesses. Compare that with younger teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have clear identities, defined roles, and momentum on their side. The Lakers often look like they're reacting to problems, while those teams play with a clear plan and direction.
It looks to me like the Lakers have accepted reality that they're not going to be the 3 seed. They got to prioritize LeBron's health. He's played a lot of minutes in the last week.
If it was me, I would put LeBron in bubble wrap the rest of the week. I wouldn't play him again. I would try to just give him as much time as possible to get ready for what's almost certainly going to be a first-round series against Houston. Certainly doesn't seem like Luka Doncic or Austin Reeves should be available. If they're not available...
This is where teams often make a costly mistake. They wait too long before handing the keys to the next leader. That's the situation the Lakers seem to be facing with Anthony Davis. If this franchise is going to have a future beyond LeBron, it has to be built around AD. But it's difficult for him to fully take over when the offense, the leadership, and most of the attention still revolve around LeBron. That creates an unusual balance where AD may be the team's best two-way player, yet he still isn't the true centerpiece. Until that changes, the Lakers will continue to feel stuck. At the same time, the rest of the league is moving forward. Teams like the Boston Celtics have built success through depth and chemistry, while the Denver Nuggets continue to thrive with elite team basketball around Nikola Jokic. Rising stars like Victor Wembanyama are also changing the way the game is played. The NBA is becoming faster, smarter, and more balanced. Meanwhile, the Lakers are still trying to win with an approach that feels rooted in a different era.
Not going to lose any sleep over LeBron being bummed out. They're going to upgrade scouting, and my guess, they are eventually going to find their wizard, their guru, their GM.
Another issue that doesn't get enough attention is the front office. Almost every major decision has to be viewed through the LeBron lens. Should they trade this draft pick? Does this player fit alongside LeBron? Does the timeline match his championship window? That's not the way sustainable franchises are built. That's the mindset of a team chasing one final title. And if that championship never comes, you're left with very little. Fewer assets, no clear direction, and a rebuild that could have started much sooner. The same conversation extends to the coaching staff. Whether it's intentional or not, coaching a player like LeBron comes with unique challenges. We've seen it with previous coaches, and it's fair to wonder how much freedom J.J. Redick truly has to implement his own vision. Coaching LeBron isn't only about drawing up plays. It's also about managing the influence that comes with one of the biggest stars the league has ever seen. That's where the real risk begins. If the Lakers choose loyalty over long-term planning, they could spend years falling behind. The Western Conference isn't getting any easier. Teams are becoming younger, deeper, and more complete every season. If the Lakers keep trying to hold on to the past while preparing for the future, they could end up missing both. Eventually, every organization has to choose a direction, and the Lakers still haven't fully done that. None of this takes away from LeBron's greatness. He's one of the greatest players to ever step on an NBA court. But even the greatest careers are affected by time. Every legend eventually reaches that stage. Kobe Bryant did. Michael Jordan did. The challenge isn't recognizing greatness. It's deciding when the franchise needs to turn the page. If you look closely, the warning signs are becoming harder to ignore. The inconsistency, the defensive breakdowns, the heavy reliance on isolation, and the lack of a consistent team identity aren't the qualities of a championship contender. They're signs that meaningful changes may be necessary. That's why J.J. Redick's philosophy could become so important moving forward. His vision emphasizes ball movement, shared responsibility, player development, and a system that allows multiple players to thrive instead of depending on one superstar to carry everything. That's the kind of foundation that gives a franchise a chance to compete year after year. Moving on from LeBron wouldn't erase everything he's accomplished. It would simply mark the beginning of a new chapter. It would give the next generation an opportunity to grow without constantly living in the shadow of the previous era. It's a difficult decision, but staying in the same cycle may be even riskier. So the question becomes impossible to avoid. Do the Lakers keep hoping for one final championship run, or do they make the difficult decision to start building for the future? Either way, time isn't on their side, because if they choose to move on, it won't just be a basketball decision. It will be a cultural reset. It would signal that the Lakers are focused on building the next great team instead of relying on past greatness. But if they stay on the current path, fans could be looking at more headlines, more debates, and more seasons that end without a championship. So here's the question. If you were running the Lakers today, what would matter more, honoring the past or securing the future? Because the longer the organization tries to do both, the harder it becomes to accomplish either one.